So the year is 1940.
I'm going to fucking destroy you.
All right.
Go ahead, dude.
I
Take
think
it off.
we have invited onto our podcast an expert in this topic. He was there for every battle. He knows everything. He was the winning side. The Allies only won because of him. It's Beeve Caster. He's our expert on World War One today. He's going to be leading this podcast in terms of the facts and information. Me and Eli are here to joke around and such and lighten up the mood a little bit.
I'm incredibly useless.
Yeah, Eli, don't worry. It's been like that since you. Never mind.
Shut the fuck up.
So,
High five, I've been more than your bitch ass.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Anyway,
We're
that's
gonna edit that out.
if we can,
Yeah.
in fact, calm down with my co-host. I'm
I'm sorry.
considering turning on press to speak for this channel right now.
Oh no! Don't do
Okay, we can be
We'll be
we can be
I'm just
good.
missing you guys anyway. Now, with that being said, I think that it's about time to get in. Now,
Alright, yeah. Start us off.
All right.
the year is 1914. As a result of many complicated and tight alliances, a once small conflict between Austria-Hungary and Serbia has now turned into a global war, dubbed the Great War at the time, but later known as World War I. In England, a 14-year-old boy from London named Henry Covington is eager to join the battle in France. He lines up at the recruiting office at 9 in the morning, and the queue extends all the way around the block. Many tens or even hundreds of similarly aged boys were ready to file their papers and head for mainland Europe, where they hoped to fight for their country.
Yeah.
When Henry finally arrives at the recruiting stand, he gives the recruiting officer all his information. When the recruiter sees the boy, he asks Henry if he's 17. Henry says, "Of course, I wouldn't come to volunteer if I weren't any younger." The recruiter has his doubts, but ignores his suspicions to make his monthly quota. Over the next 8 weeks, Henry trains, learns, and makes acquaintances at basic training before shipping off to Europe. The young boy's unit is stationed in the trenches in northern France. He and his friends finally see action for the first time after days of shelling by the enemy. As excitement reaches its climax, they climb out their position and they charge for the German trenches. For Britannia. The mud and barbed wire of no man's land slows their advance and gives the enemy enough time to tear them to shreds with machine guns. Henry is dumbfounded by what he's just witnessed. Feeling nothing but terror, trauma, and regret, Henry turns around and retreats as fast as humanly possible. He runs for his trench, but the Germans launch artillery, and Henry immediately and utterly dies, exploded by German weapons.
Damn. Can we get a rip in the chat for Henry?
Skull emojis in the chat for him.
Yeah.
Although Henry may not have been real, as you probably might have guessed, his story absolutely is. Every single aspect of it. The BBC estimates that 200,000 boys under the age of 17 died fighting in World War I.
So that's
And
not
that's
just
the
the
figure-
people that signed up to fight
Yeah.
in World War I that were under 17. That's just the casualties. So you can imagine how many there were under the age
It's
of 17
incredible.
fighting in a war. Can you imagine you guys right now as teenagers fighting in
Yeah.
World War I in the trenches? You have to
Like-
stab and shoot and kill, blow people's brains out in a war right now.
Like
at your
me-
age.
Like us three could be like on a squad in war.
That's
I
soon.
immediately
And-
descends into war fantasy.
Here's the
Shut up.
crazy thing. This is the figure from England alone. And you guys have to remember, they signed up in fucking droves. They signed up. They signed away all of their rights willingly to fight in war. Of course, nowadays we sign away our rights for the cool water bottle because the army people always have the coolest water bottles. But
It's very true. Dude, so the army comes to our school every single day. They're like, "Hey, you want to join the army, right? I'll give you a T-shirt if you kill yourself." So
Oh my god.
I have about 4 T-shirts from them. I think my school is fine.
Live,
Well-
laugh, Eli.
Live. I don't
So,
like that, but anyways.
Will, why don't you take it from where I left off to the end of this passage?
At
yes.
the peak.
Okay, so at the peak of the fighting on the Western Front, trenches extended from the Channel to Switzerland. Before the Great War, it was the aspiration of all boys to fight in wars for their country, for the honor and glory of protecting their homeland and their kings as well. Nearly every nation in Europe prior to the war was a monarchy, but after, none remained. These are just a few of the impacts that World War I had on the world. Today, we will examine the causes of World War I, the effects of the war, and how it changed the Earth forever. My...
No one else gets it. No one else can see it. So we're the only ones laughing. We look like maniacs.
Really, okay, so we have, for every podcast, we put together this document that we read off of. Not word for word, obviously, but we have notes in general and, like, sources, so we're not just feeding you guys bullshit. Like, we're trying this. And literally, we're watching Beef, like, furiously editing the document as we're reading it, like, changing the facts as we're reading it, and it's very funny. Sorry. I couldn't help but laugh. So this podcast will consist of historical background, militaristic advancements, and the socio-political impact of these wars. World War I, obviously. So, Eli, why don't you tell us the month, date, what countries? You got this. Tell us about World War I, man. You got this. Let's go.
You don't need to guide it.
I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. I do have a list, so just like keep that in mind. Also, I'm not the greatest at reading, so it might take me a second, but in June of 1914, the Archduke of Austria, Franz Ferdinand, was off for a cruise in. Beav, you want to help me out there?
Sarajevo?
Yeah, what he said, in the heart of Bosnia. He had his route published in the papers a week prior to the visit. The Archduke believed, perhaps, that the people were there to greet him warmly and be met with pride and joy in his presence. However, this is far from the truth.
Bosnia was a very contentious and controversial addition to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and this leads into our historical context. The people of the Balkans, which included Serbia, Montenegro, Albania, Greece, Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, and Bosnia, basically all of the nations that shitpost the most on Reddit, had a tumultuous past with the Ottoman Empire, whom we'll get into later. Most of these nations achieved independence due to the work of Russia during the First and Second Balkan Wars, which is completely different can of worms. In these conflicts, the Russian Empire supported uprisings of the Balkan states, which the Russians saw as their relatives due to the shared Slavic heritage. In Europe, at this time, ethnicity and race was one of the strongest and most universalizing centripetal forces, centripetal meaning together or attracting together. Just as the Croats and Serbs came together with the Russians because of their ethnicities, they were divided with the German people of Austria or the Uralic people of Hungary. It certainly didn't help that all the political power was held by both the Germans and the Hungarians, despite them only making up 40% of the population. Keep in mind, Austrians get pissed off if you call them German, but they're German. They're German.
I mean, that seems like a little bit of a... If they want to be called Austrians, why not call them Austrians, right? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can tell Eli's spaced out for the last 2 minutes.
I'm very helpful. I know what I'm talking about.
All right, Will, you take the next passage.
So wait. Pause real quick. You just want us to like keep, like what we're doing, like you I5 me, and then just keep repeating that.
I'll annotate who takes what paragraphs because some paragraphs are going to be better for others.
Okay.
All right.
There is one thing that can divide people more than race, and racism, as we know, is a very dividing thing. I'm pretty sure it was created to divide the country during slavery. Honestly, I don't know enough about racism, to be honest. I should probably educate myself.
I can help you out. Race was a construct invented by Europeans to justify colonialism. Okay, you take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wait.
It was
Remember,
literally
don't be racist.
It was designed to divide people, but there's still one thing that can divide people more than race, and it's religion. The Bosniaks had mainly been alienated from the other Slavs and Bosnians because of their Islamic faith. However, they were united with the Serbs and the Croats because of the religious persecution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The other South Slavic nations were Orthodox and opposed by the Catholic nobility of the empire. All of this oppression had the Slavs feeling nationalistic and marginalized, which led them to the springing up of extremist groups. One of the most prominent being the Black Hand, which plotted to take down the Austro-Hungarian Empire and create an all-encompassing unified South Slavic state. The group was also known to have connections with the Serbian government through anything more than this, though anything more than this is unknown. So this is kind of like the tensions brewing, and people are unhappy, and religion is pulling people apart, and they're starting to get mad about it, right? So
Yeah. So, as you can imagine, Franz Ferdinand's sudden visit with minimalistic security to a contested and rebellious region.
Hey, time out. High five. You're having audio problems. Half the podcast cannot hear you.
Wait, what? I can hear him just fine.
I can hear him just fine too, but look in chat.
Wait, yeah. Wait, podcast people, can you say Eli if you can hear me? Okay, people can hear me.
Okay,
Okay, now
me?
say...
Okay. Wait, did anyone hear that whole thing that I said? Like, when my mic was lighting up, did you guys hear me before? No one heard it. Okay.
Okay,
So should you repeat it, or can we just, like, put this on the... You know what, you repeat it. Just repeat it.
Okay. No, in short, what I said was there was some tensions about religion between the Bosniaks and other Slavs in the area of different religion. And it made the Bosniaks want to... Okay, wait. This is a lot of information.
Sorry, you're sending
Basically,
funny
it
memes
created
in
a lot
chat.
of turmoil and contention in Europe, and at this specific place that Franz Ferdinand was going to. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the start of World War I was because of the death of Franz Ferdinand. We'll get to that. Sorry about the spoilers. But
Oh man.
Any spoilers for people living in the year 1879? Sorry about that.
So, like, as you can imagine, Franz Ferdinand's sudden visit with minimal to none security to a contentious and rebellious region, with his route published beforehand with the proper date, was going to lead to something terrible. I mean, it's just like 1 + 1 = 4. So, on his way out of the city, his driver made the wrong turn, placing him right next to Gavrilo Princip.
Yeah.
A member of the Black Hand and an aspiring assassin of a certain Australian Archduke. Once the open-top car had pulled through the street, 2 gunshots were fired, and Franz Ferdinand, along with his wife Sophie, were killed. Political assassination is a full-on declaration of war, and Austria couldn't be more enraged that a Siberian national was behind the assassination of their next in line. The nation issued a list of impossible demands to Serbia, and once the country refused, they declared war.
However, the assassination was the straw that broke the camel's back in Europe. A large war was coming, and everyone knew it. In 1888, known Chancellor of Germany and fucking Giga Chad of history, Otto von Bismarck, had predicted just what had happened. He said, one day, the Great European War will come out of some damned foolish thing in the Balkans, which is impressive because, well, if you've ever been to the Balkans, you actually wouldn't find it that impressive. That is neither here nor there, however. This was a tale of two alliances. The Triple Entente, which consisted of Russia, France, and the United Kingdom, was a tight alliance that swore to protect each other and each other's interests in Europe and abroad. And now that Austria had declared war on Serbia, Russia was in it to protect its Slavic brothers. Just to confirm, no one is lost. We have Russia, France, and the United Kingdom in the Triple Entente. And now that Austria declared war on Serbia, Russia is going to protect its Slavs. Now, being the good ally that it was, declared war on Austria-Hungary and Germany to fulfill their end of the alliance. The English were counted out of the war for reasons tied to their economy, and they decided to remain neutral but continue to supply their friends with ammunitions and resources. The antithesis to the Entente was the Triple Alliance, which was far weaker to the Entente, and it had a way less cool-sounding name. The alliance was made up of our favorite multi-ethnic empire, Austria-Hungary, Germany, the German Empire, and Italy.
Is anybody else seeing connections here, or is it just me?
What?
You know, Austria, Hungary, Germany, and Italy. Anyways, go on.
The Germans were supportive of their southern cousins no matter what, despite a dramatic past, and the Italians had joined the alliance mostly out of necessity. When the war started, the Italians had pulled a similar move to the British and bowed out of fighting due to economic fears and recent issues with Austria. Germany pounced on the opportunity to expand. Germany, for years, had been aggressively pushing their militaristic and colonial power in places like Africa and the Pacific, and had developed a strong rivalry with the French. To get around French defenses, they invaded Belgium, which was a neutral country and a fucking dick move. Once they finally got there, the English were upset that they committed a war crime. Who wouldn't be? And they joined in on the fight. This continued until nearly every country in the European continent was at war with one another. One point, even Japan and Australia were fighting on the side of the Allies as well.
Which is just, wow. Literally the whole world. That's why this was called the Great War, because the world had never seen a war like this before. In the past, there was big wars between big countries and great powers. But after the Industrial Revolution, there was a lot more interconnectivity between countries, and countries could more easily fight each other basically when they couldn't before. And of course, humanity being as it is, the second that we got the ability to do something bad, we did it. So World War I, here we go. And over the decades before World War I, military technology had skyrocketed to unprecedented levels. This is part of the Industrial Revolution and new technology, and of course, the second we can do bad things, we do. And in the time before the Great War, machine guns, heavy artillery, trench guns, biplanes, and chemical warfare had all been established in military arrangements. The Germans and British had also been amassing gigantic arsenals in competition with each other. As the two were among the richest empires in all of Europe, and remember, this is before all of Germany's... Well, this is why Germany was told to disarm by treaties after World War I and II. This is before all that, so Germany had the power to use as much of their money as they wanted on military arrangements. So they were really buying into new war technology before World War I, and all of this culminated in what really is just a deadly war, because everyone had the tech to just kill each other on a huge scale, especially Germany. So these empires, these rich empires like the German and British Empire, basically competed for Europe and competed for the wealth and influence of Europe with their colonial empires. Eli, I think you're next.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the kid when you're doing a PowerPoint presentation who kind of just sat there for the entire time, and now it's his turn to read, and that's all he's going to get credit for. So, but there's a great German problem established before this war. The Great German Empire. The Great German Empire had been established as a result of many shifting alliances and motives throughout the German Confederation. The nation was effectively founded by Otto von Bismarck, the first chancellor, who did things in the right way for his country. Bismarck understood the need for peace and stability in Europe, hence why he called the Berlin Conference, which was intended to cut up Africa for the colonial powers. Bismarck didn't favor colonies or war, and worked to establish alliances with the Western European nations and the United States, among others. The issues arise with Kaiser Wilhelm II, who disagreed with Bismarck's peaceful and diplomatic approach, favoring a power rivalry with France and Russia, walking them out of any possible relationship with Britain, and putting them in a perfect position to start the most influential war in history.
So, I just want to say that Otto von Bismarck, as I mentioned previously, is one of the most important people in European history and is incredibly influential. He was one of the people who was incredibly anti-war, which is incredible for its time. I know I just said incredible about 15 times. I apologize for that. But the main thing that you have to understand about Bismarck is that he was a pacifist. He originally started out as a small government pleading to the royals conservative, but later would change his minds on things. And that is a great lesson to learn. This is kind of sidetracking, but you can always change your views on things if they're right for that time. But his entire political foreign policy contradicted with the rest of Germany. Germany was incredibly nationalistic, and that's one of the themes that we'll see throughout the rest of this podcast. Nationalism. In the beginning of World War I, every power in Europe believed that it was like the wars of the past, fought slowly and methodically like a chess match, with brilliant tactics and wit needed to overcome the other side. In actuality, fighting was much more akin to a bare-knuckle brawl, to the very last bloodied blow. In France, soldiers had worn bright uniforms with blue coats, no helmets, and red trousers. The French, known for their brilliant military strategy in the World Wars, were subsequently blown to shreds in the countryside while they sported these colonial get-ups. I threw a lot of shade at the French, but the French actually have won the most battles in world history. That's a real statistic. Look it up.
They also got the most fucking drip.
No, that's for real. Except looking fly as hell doesn't really help you win wars. It really just helps you.
That's just not true. I mean, if you look good, they're just not gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
It's like dating. If you look good, everybody's gonna date you.
Exactly, but replace dating with guns, and then you got American schools.
Hell yeah. I fucking love the American schools.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's move on from that quickly.
Most nations of Europe failed to understand the importance of helmets, and none had the military-issued boots as a part of their uniform. But once fighting in the trenches started, they were a must.
Yeah, so the fighting was complicated because of the use of this new technology and the prevalence of trench warfare. Often battles would be fought over inches. You know, a day you might make an inch, literally what you can dig forward in your trench. Movement was not exactly common, and strategies of the past that had worked like a charm were now completely and utterly useless. Cavalry was perhaps the biggest weakness of the war. In the past, cavalry was like air support, needed to win battles, but in the Great War, cavalry charges were useless. A platoon of 50 men on horseback could charge a trench, and in the next half hour, all 50 men and horses would be dead. Any horses that managed to survive would likely be captured and put to work transporting supplies for the enemy. The British didn't know how to react to this fact, as it took them years to realize their sheer uselessness on horseback. So, literally, the British were just stuck in their old ways. They had won so many battles and so many wars in the past that they didn't know. They
Just
basically
move
just hadn't
on.
caught up. And Beav, if you want to continue.
Yeah. If you've ever read the book War Horse, that's an accurate depiction into what being a cavalry horse was like in World War One. In the place of cavalry came a new kind of reinforcement, though: the tank. The English were looking for the English were looking for a way to fill the need of reinforcement and heavy infantry, so they began work on a new machine, one that operated on wheels and could take the place of cavalry. Finally, they unveiled the tank at the Battle of the Somme. It was a mechanical bull on treads and became the edge which allowed the Brits to win that fight and gain 30 meters of territory.
Another crucial technology to replace cavalry would become air support. The first planes had been created at the turn of the decade, and as soon the Wright brothers invented flight, the military was theirs to take note. The first planes were made for military use, and in World War I they became fine-tuned instruments of war, almost beautiful in their combat capabilities. Using planes, the armies were able to provide renaissance and support through the air, and could also drop. Words are hard, and could also drop bombs behind the enemy lines, taking out huge chunks of personnel and personnel and sending the enemy scrambling. The plane, which was once a marvel of engineering and human innovation, had now become an instrument of death.
Yeah, heavy stuff. The Wright brothers, I can't imagine that they saw what their invention would be twisted into when they created it.
If anyone was confused, Eli, the incredibly great man that he is,
Very attractive.
was trying to get through this a little too quickly by mistake, and he said Renaissance instead of reconnaissance. So
Yeah,
everyone-
That's a real tragedy. Podcast
So-
over. Sorry guys, he messed up.
So
one
you
word.
see, I have something to defend myself. When I was young, when I was left alone with my sister,
No,
she was
no,
watching
stop.
a movie and she dropped me down the stairs. I fell down the stairs and hit my head multiple times. This is a real story, by the way. And I haven't recovered since, so that's why I can't say whatever that word was. Thank you.
a tragedy truly comparable to World War One.
Oh, absolutely.
I would like to comment on the war that we had against
How the
Hell.
fuck did Ryzen get into?
Sorry. I can leave quietly if you want.
No, it was just funny.
What's your
I
comment?
didn't
Give us your
really-
comment.
There's no
first.
option. There's no option to leave loudly. Why does it say leave quietly? That implies mutual exclusivity with a leave. With a leave
Yeah, you should
loudly.
probably write to Discord support with that. I'll do that when I finish listening to this podcast.
Will, why did you let
I didn't.
Wizzy on stage?
Oh no, I
Otherwise,
moved
nobody
myself
can
here
do it.
manually. I requested to speak and might have got accepted, but I just moved up here because I'm a jerk.
Hey, do you guys have anything to add to the podcast? Okay, that's what I thought.
Welcome.
Have fun in the audience. Let's continue on, I5.
Okay, so perhaps the largest. Oh man, I messed up the word largest. That's.
Are we doing pickup lines or no?
Shut
Look
the
at-
fuck
oh
up, I swear to
World
God.
War I
Largest
pickup
and like
lines,
Renaissance
man.
are
Come
very
on,
different.
are you
Time
kidding
and
me?
fucking place.
Is this just VC1? Like, what?
Stop.
Get out of here,
It's
Ryzen.
not
Dude, you are being
VC1.
so
Okay.
fucking annoying right now. Stop.
Okay, I5. I have no room to say this. Let's try largest again.
Sorry.
Let's try it again.
So perhaps the largest and most drastic difference to wars in the past was the emergence of trench warfare, which was caused from necessity.
Necessity.
Necessity. Got it.
How many people does it take to say one word?
Who wrote this paragraph? Man? Oh man. In 1914, the Germans. Yeah, I know you wrote the whole thing. And the Germans were closing in on Paris, and all looked lost for the French. The French, they really are not having a good time in the world wars. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but like they do look good though. So
They do look hot. Good. Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a good day today, man. I'm like Like, seriously.
It's okay. You want to talk about it?
I swear I'm straight. I'm just having a day today, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay, man.
I
It's
don't
okay,
know what
man.
it is. You guys ever have that day where you're just like, nah,
Like,
who
guys.
cares about women? And
Yeah. I mean, a moment of weakness does not make you a bad person.
yeah, I wouldn't say it would ever make you a bad person.
Well,
being gay makes you a bad person.
no, I love gay people.
Eli, how
many
does this happen every podcast?
Dude, I have kissed many dudes, and this is a fact. You can ask many people.
What?
So,
Are you
anyways, what's
named
up?
Ryzen?
How do you know about that? How do you know about that iPod?
What's up?
Ryzen, get out of here. Okay, anyways, yeah, killing people.
Yeah, so the Germans were going to get a quick victory. However, the French stopped retreating, holding their ground with the British, and pushed on. The Germans got sloppy and opened up a hole in their offensive, which allowed the Allies to flank the Germans from the side and from behind. You know how that is, guys. You and Alabama.
Aw.
Pushing them
Wait,
back
what?
several kilometers and forcing the Germans to dig into defensive positions. So the Germans were just smashing, pushing through. Eli knows this. And they were just...
I got a goofy off laugh.
They were just destroyed. They basically got put in their place by the British and the French at this point. And the Allies subsequently did the same, basically making this whole thing into a 3-inch war in France. And before either side really knew what was
Well,
happening...
there's a lot about 3 inches.
Same here, buddy.
Bro, gonna do me like that, man. Oh,
Alright.
Honestly, guys,
Alright,
wait,
shit.
wait. Guys, we could all agree that 3 inches is a little too much.
Vous continue, I5?
I hate you. Before either side really knew what was happening, there were trenches running from the Atlantic to Switzerland. Huge trenches, longer than 3 inches.
If you guys didn't know, the Atlantic to Switzerland is approximately 730,000 U.S. burgers. So keep that in mind.
Yummy.
What?
Wait, so, is that longer or shorter than 3 inches?
I don't know the imperial system.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one.
I like how we use
Logan, get off
burgers as
stage.
After today in the trenches, today we will dig 3 inches. That's all I have to say.
Moderators, if you want to speak in the podcast, please tell me beforehand. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay.
So get your audio working first. Make sure your audio is working before you...
Wait, we're gonna test. Say Eli in chat if you can hear me. Okay, yeah,
He said
okay, people.
Eli in chat.
Logan, I
Hey, what's-
pinged you like 4 or 5 times. You should have told me then.
Say
Alright,
I5
bad
if you
memory.
can. I5, please.
Yeah.
Take back everything that I
Everyone say
DM'd
my
you
name.
earlier.
Everyone say it. I5. You can hear me, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now say
Yeah.
Beeve if you can hear Beeve. We love you.
Beef.
Now say okay. Just making sure. Does anybody know why we're having audio? We're supposed to be the audio server. How are we having audio difficulties?
Shut up.
Oh, my
Why
dog
did you
is
say
telling
that?
me. Okay.
Anyways,
Can somebody
let's
not hear
continue on.
Beef, leave and rejoin real quick.
If I
It's our
What?
or, no.
what
No, you
Say-
left the stage. You have to leave completely and then join back. You got this.
no
you
if
got this.
if I disconnect, I'll end it for everyone.
What?
It's my event, I think.
No,
Oh wait, no.
No, you're.
Well, it's our podcast now. Or never mind.
I try, you son of a bitch. But hey, hey. Here's a little word of advice. You can't read the next paragraph. It's my paragraph.
Bitch.
Daffy, like you can't hear as in like you can't hear me or you're deaf. Oh no, she's not typing. Well,
Well, she's dead.
Let's continue.
Yeah, let's continue
you
talking
guys,
about
if you
daily
can't
work.
hear, just try leaving and then coming back again.
Yeah. Everybody leaves, doesn't rejoin.
No, you
Somebody
have
send
to
a
move
chat
to
in
the
audio
audience. You have to
podcast.
leave the call entirely and then join back.
Yeah, somebody put that in chat. All right, fine. I will.
One left. So
Leave the call and join back. You got this. It's a red button. I think we've all seen it here on Discord.
no, I've just been in here indefinitely.
He's never left a call before.
Logan,
Just wait
shut
for him.
your bitch ass up. Angel, Sandusky, not right now.
We will have Angel up here though. Angel is
Yeah, we will have a section for everyone to come in at the end of the podcast. So do not
a
worry. It
special
shouldn't
part
be
for Angel though, for sure.
too much longer.
We
We're on
love
page
stories.
4 of 6, so
Okay, let's continue.
that's a great idea. French warfare, as my co-hosts were saying previously, can accurately be described as hell on earth. Imagine this. Inside the trenches, you would find rats, disease, and pools of poisonous water, which is the average weekend stay in Detroit. Every single day, trench would be shelled for weeks at a time. As soon as the shelling stopped, generals would order men to charge the other trench by entering no man's land, a barren and desolate environment of sharp barbed wire and mud, which was about as easy to pass as a busy intersection in the middle of rush hour.
In Detroit.
On
In
top
Detroit, of course.
of the awful conditions, men would be met with an onslaught of machine gun fire and small arms fire upon stepping into the desolate wasteland. Air support, heavy artillery, and tanks would commonly be deployed towards the end of the war in the trenches, yet another deadly obstacle yet another deadly and dangerous obstacle which painted the mud a deep red.
And because of this, I mean, you can imagine the conditions were just horrific. So, as you can imagine, there was PTSD, and PTSD was very common in the trenches as men would be deployed in rows and drop like flies. Imagine a young soldier watching a friend die every single day. The commanding officers and medical help just called it getting shell-shocked. I'm sure you guys have heard of shell shock. It's watching people's faces get blown off, watching someone step on a landmine. This is not fun stuff. You don't forget this stuff. It's hard to ask people to function as human beings when they see these kind of just horrific things. And today we're just going to call it not shell shock. We're going to call it post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. And as more men dropped and as more horrific sites were found in World War I, PTSD became more and more common, leaving even those who survived the war affected for decades to come by the ramifications of it.
The world changed dramatically following the war, and this still impacts us to this day. A brutality once thought as glorious and honorable is now strictly terrifying and awful. The destructive power of war would never once be trivialized again after what Europe had experienced. Monarchies that were once thought as divine and beneficial became inadequate and hated. Towns of thousands now had their populations reduced to a few hundred. The social and economics impacts of World War I may be the most striking and imposing of them all. High five. That's your funny.
So, speaking of these bombs, in 1907, Tsar Nicholas and Romanov's family met.
You got this.
This is written really badly. I'm sorry, Beef. What is happening?
Was
In
met.
1917,
Wait.
Tsar Nicholas and the Romanov family was met with the masses of angry Russians. The empire has fallen gravely since the beginning of the war, and the people and army were angry. So Russia's falling apart at this point. The Russian monarchy's falling apart. A nation that has staggered so far behind the rest of Europe, constant in their demise, was now fed up and demanded change. What resulted from this confrontation would become the Russian Revolution. The inside of the empire, the communists would soon take over, and Lenin established the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or the Soviet Union. This sent a clear message to all of Europe. The days of monarchy were nearing their end. Everywhere.
Rush.
And
Rush.
hold up. Fun fact, my last name, like where my family came from, my family was the guards of the Russian monarchy. So when this happened, like what we're talking about right now, when the Russian Revolution happened, we didn't expand on it that much, but the Russian Revolution is really interesting to me because most of my family died during it, because they were royal guards of the Russian monarch. And like that's what my last name means. So like a large, like 70% of my family was killed during this time in Russia by the Soviets in the Russian Revolution. Yes, Soviet lore, let's go. And the ones who didn't were, they escaped to Canada. Go Daffy. She saved them personally. Daffy saved them. Oh, Daffy's not
Let's
here
go.
anymore. Man.
Oh,
she
never mind.
ditched
She didn't
us.
save them.
Wow.
Yeah, she didn't save them.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Daffy. It was who else was Canadian in here?
It was Diamond. Yeah.
Yeah, anyways. So, I just thought I'd bring that up because
Yeah.
we were on that topic very quickly.
That's very interesting. You've told me this before. I knew you were Russian because also your last name, which I'm not going to publicly display, is very, very Russian.
No, it
So-
sounds incredibly Dutch.
I mean, yeah, but also I'm incredibly
My-
Dutch, and my last name is Scott. So,
Whoa. You just docked yourself.
He says that
You guys didn't hear about
Daffy
that.
comes back? Dude, we were just talking about you for so long. Where were you? Why are you here now? You missed the whole part we were talking about you. No. Oh my god. She's back now, I guess.
But
She's
anyways,
gone for that whole thing.
Simon, stop.
Simon, we'll find out. Actually, we have Simon's address, right? Why don't we just leak it if he's being annoying?
I have his IP. I'll read
Dude,
it right now.
Yeah, do that. Do that.
I'll read his
Yeah,
IP.
nothing.
Just read the first couple digits to scare him.
I5 family vacated to Canada. Saved
Hey.
by you. Yeah, so when my family
Okay,
was getting
I5, read out his IP right now.
Yeah, do
It's a
it.
joke. I'd have to get on VNC.
I don't want to interrupt, but
All right.
I
Anyways,
don't want to
Rush.
interrupt, but let me
aren't
interrupt.
staff supposed to be?
Just say
Simon-
in chat, man. Just type
Yeah.
it out. Use your fingers
Like-
for more.
Oh wait. Can I turn on? Wait, is my camera thing? Can I turn on? Did they finally fix that? Okay, Simon. What I want you to do? Use this thing. There you go, bud.
They have
I got you.
cameras now?
Yeah, I know. Amazing. I can show my beautiful face. Hello, everyone. It is me, Elytra. I was trying to do that like a
Wait,
while ago.
3 people left the second Eli turned on his camera.
Incredibly based. Wait. Also, I can share my screen. Can I just like start playing Rust?
You can, and no,
You could, but we don't want you to.
no
Anyways.
one wants to watch you play Rust.
I have SARS though, like, and I have like
Stop.
AKs.
No, don't.
Anyways,
Nope.
Russia was only the beginning. Following the war, Spain, Germany, Portugal, Italy, Yugoslavia, Romania, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire all lost their monarchies, either out of popular revolutions or forced through Treaty of Versailles, which ended World War One.
You nailed that. You nailed that, bro. Good job. Oh,
Yeah.
that was beautiful.
Okay.
Wait, hold up. Kara has something to add. She's
Wait.
very
No, I
graciously
didn't.
come.
I just got a request to join, so I'm just gonna chill here.
Okay, yeah, but
Let's have you in the audience if you're gonna chill. We'll bring you
Yeah.
up at the end. You can tell us a story. You'll be the
You
center
can
of
tell
the
us-
show.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway.
Beef, I think that's you next. Do you have anything more to add?
Yeah. I was going to say that the Russian Revolution is an incredibly pivotal moment in history. It inspired the Orwellian novel Animal Farm, which I read in English
Ninth
class
grade.
recently.
I feel like all of us have read Animal Farm. Like Like, who hasn't? Middle school.
What's Animal
high
Farm?
school.
A good book.
Should I read it?
Wait,
Wait, one
we'll get
sec.
to
I
it in
need
next
it.
year's English, Eli. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
But continuing on, we got to understand that the effects of the war were worst for the Central Powers. Austria-Hungary was dissolved following the war in a series of treaties, and the resulting nations of Austria and Hungary lost a majority of their original pre-Union land and people. In fact, a third of Hungarians to this day live immediately outside of Hungary, mostly in Romania. Out of their lost territory, the South Slavs form a union which was called the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Bosniaks, which is more commonly called the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. Things were good for the people of the former Ottoman Empire, especially considering how the other two fared. The Treaty of Savoy, good thing that I read that paragraph because Eli would have gotten fucked.
Look, it was because my sister dropped me down the stairs. You can't blame me.
Would partition Turkey, allowing the Allies to cut it up for themselves. And to plan an independent Kurdistan, which would actually be a really good idea and avoid a lot of armed conflict, and a large Armenia were planned, with a small Anatolian core at the very center of Turkey. Italy, Greece, France, and the UK were all going to get a piece of the pie under the original treaty. However, things were complicated by the Turkish War of Independence, and it would be scrapped completely following the establishment of the Turkish Republic. Now, this brings me to light on something that is fucked. The transition of government allowed the Turkish government to completely ignore and deny the Armenian genocide, a similar practice which the Japanese have done with the Nanjing massacre. This is a horrible atrocity. Armenians and Greeks were for centuries persecuted and blamed inside of Turkey, inside of the Ottoman Empire. And after recent failures in Russia fighting in the Caucasus, they were completely blamed. They were killed in the droves, in the millions. Not millions, in the hundreds of thousands. My mistake. Freudian slip. Some were taken out on boats in the middle of the sea and thrown into the ocean. This was so supposedly called a forced migration, but don't get this wrong. This was a genocide. Proportional numbers. And in fact, it inspired Adolf Hitler to carry out the Holocaust because he believed that in doing so, it would be exactly like the Armenian genocide, and he could get away with it. The rest of the Ottoman territory that wasn't partitioned, specifically that wasn't Anatolia, was fair game to the colonizers, however. It was partitioned by the European colonial powers. Iraq would become British, along with the Emirate of Transjordan and Palestine. And they also gained Oman, Yemen, and the United Arab Emirates. France gained Syria. Arabia would be conquered by the Saudis, and hence its modern name of Saudi Arabia.
Yep. And the most awful consequences of the war went to Germany. The Germans were unfairly blamed for the entirety of World War I, and they were forced to pay $800 million in war reparations, a debt which wasn't paid off until 2010, 92 years later, after the signing of the treaty. Additionally, Germany lost Northern Schleswig to Denmark. Can't pronounce that, so sorry. Even though the Danes did nothing in World War I, Saarland, yeah, that's a bit of a hard pronunciation, my friend. Western Prussia and Danzig were all taken away from Germany. The Germans weren't allowed to have an air force, an army larger than 100,000 men, or militarize in Rhineland. Additionally, the Germans experienced hyperinflation, and the economy was busted. Just when they thought nothing could get any worse, the stock market crashed, and the world experienced the Great Depression. All of this weighed on Germany and the people within, and this led to the rise of the Nazi Party and Adolf Hitler. basically because Germany was so distraught by all of this unfair bashing by the rest of the world, being blamed for all of World War I, having all the weight, not all the weight, a lot of the weight put on them. This basically made the German people very unhappy, and we think is a large contributor to why the German people were so, they were basically made into extremists and very angry and just had horrible lives because of this post-war world that they lived in. And this is, we think, a major contributor to the Nazi Party and Adolf Hitler, which caused World War II, not even 2 decades later.
If there's one major...
Oh yeah,
if
Eli has... He's gonna be
If
like the last one to talk before we're done.
Okay, I'm gonna speak now. Is that good?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to transition you, man.
You're good. If there's one major takeaway... Did Simon somehow get up here for a second?
Nope.
Did anybody else hear that?
What?
Just
Okay, I might just be
thought
going
I
mentally
heard something.
insane.
I swear I heard something.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue, Eli. Continue.
If there's one major takeaway, it was society's response and feelings to war. When the fighting started, crowds across Europe celebrated the news. Parties were thrown and the news was considered exciting. Europeans were ecstatic about the war. After, people understood the destructive force and terror that war brought. The world will less ever forget about the awful and inhumane ways of war and what it brings. Entire cities were wiped out. Towns of thousands were reduced to hundreds due to conscription. The battles that once were considered glorious were now an onslaught of death, and new technologies made the killing ever more efficient. This is how the world changed. After World War I, the human race learned the consequences of war and what it brought, and it helped to never make the same mistake again. For about 20 years.
Yeah, and then World War II happened. Awesome.
Yeah, and then
that really
that's
lasted a
just
long
another
time, didn't it?
that's just another shithole right there.
Everyone always likes the sequel.
It's true.
Third
Like
time's
Toy
the
Story
charm.
2.
It's a joke. It's a joke. I promise.
Now, I would like to wrap this thing up. Before we allow some of our lovely audience members to speak, like Simon, I know you've been patiently waiting. I'm sorry about some of the things I said about you and your heritage. To conclude, in summary, World War I changed the world because of its militaristic, socio-political, and economic impact. The fighting kicked off by a misunderstanding of sorts in the Balkans and didn't stop until there was no going back. We cannot forget the sacrifices and terror that war brings. And we should always remember what horrors await when we cannot control the fighting. As one Siegfried Sassoon puts in his book Counterattack, mute in that golden silence hung with green. Come down from heaven and bring me in your eyes. Remembrance of all beauty that has been, and stillness from the pools, paradise. That's all.
That was the World War I podcast, guys.
Yeah, that was a
Make sure to stay for the
podcast.
aftermath.
Finally. Yeah, for the
Yeah, it was a
after
horrific
party.
event. It was.
Yeah,
it
don't-
really was.
yeah.
I mean, World War II. We should have a debate sometime on which was worse, World War I or World War II, because it could be.
Wait, is there-
argued
Well, in
that
terms
World
of
War I was
what-
worse, even with less casualties, because it started World War II or rolled into World War II, perhaps. But
Well,
who knows?
yeah, World War II. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about, like, well, probably World War II, right?
Well, World
I
War
mean-
II had more casualties, but it could be argued that World War I caused World War II.
Yeah,
And
but that whole
I mean,
debate is like,
World War II had more human suffering, but and I think a large conflict was inevitable, but World War I was inevitable, not World War II. So I would say World War II was probably worse, but I think that World War I maybe had a bigger impact than World War II did, just because it redefined war forever.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
anyone wants on stage, by the way, you can just raise your hand and we'll add you.
but also, just remember, history repeats itself unless you learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget.
Never forget. Oh, say,
Also-
can't you see? Sorry. Go ahead.
Next podcast will be, I think it's a dating. We were supposed to do it in February, but you know.
No, we're
That'll be a nice
doing it.
contrast.
We're skipping the dating podcast. We're gonna write another.
Why?
Because that one sucks. It's no fun because we're a bunch of Discord bots.
Bro, no. Everyone wants the dating podcast. There's no way.
Wait. Nah. I'm desperate.
I just
Okay, we can do the
Casually,
dating
and-
podcast.
and
Wait,
and
we
uh,
need a clean audio dating app. Will
Yeah,
get on
but-
that. C#.
Yeah.
Learn C#. You got this. Clean audio
believe in
dating
you.
podcast.
how about I just tell everybody about that time I got head in the cemetery?
No.
Ah, wait, I want to hear about this.
No. I'm gonna kick you out. I will kick you out of this server.
Wait.
Just saying.
Wait, we'll talk about it later, okay?
Angel Sandusky, welcome.
Welcome to the
We can't give you as much time as we have in the past. But you could say a few words quickly, Angel.
Alright, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You can.
Alright, honestly, Daffy, I know no slurs, alright? I'll try my best, alright? Well, I feel like World War II might have changed war for good, because now we got nukes, you know? And that's like,
Yeah.
Did you
we
say
ever get in
for
a
good?
war again,
Did you?
no,
don't know,
it's
man.
it's all out.
Bombs and weapons of like mass destruction existed before World War II.
Did
Not-
they?
Not to the same extent, but they exist. Yeah,
Oh, you mean like gas?
There were chemical weapons. Yeah, like there were chemical weapons. There were the Germans. In fact, they used zeppelins, civilian zeppelins, to gas civilian cities.
That is a pretty deadly war tactic right there.
Oh.
But now we got like things that can actually wipe out an entire state, so it's just like,
Well, we had that before. You know, the most people who died in one event in World War II weren't even at Hiroshima or Nagasaki. It was the firebombing of Tokyo.
yeah. I mean, it only took out a few people. They tried to get a bigger city. I heard that. There's just bad weather then.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
One of the diplomats from the U.S. to Japan loved Kyoto, and Kyoto was originally the city that they wanted.
Thought it was
And
something.
They didn't because he said, "Dude, that city is just too fucking beautiful. We can't do it."
Wasn't it? Hang on. My biology teacher must have been fucking lying, or integrated science, whatever the shit. He said something that started with an S. I think it was Shashakara. Shashar. I can't speak that.
Hiroshima.
No, not even Hiroshima. It was like they would have gotten instead of that. It's
Shizuma.
like Shakara or something
Okay,
like
do
that.
you have anything else to add, Angel?
Goku?
Honestly, no, because I am like boggled out of my brains right now.
You're
Sorry,
boggled.
man.
You're boggled up.
Yeah.
So sorry to hear that, Angel. Well, it was glad having you on here. We make a tradition of having you on every podcast, so we
Oh yeah. So are we doing the dating podcast or not? I'm really desperate. Come on.
And move to the audience, you know, so.
Well,
Anyways, let's
I
move
want
on.
to,
Free to
man.
be
I
here.
wanted
You're
to.
gonna-
We're gonna do the dating podcast. It's announced, everybody. Get excited. We're doing it. Next week, Sunday, 7:30. Be there for it.
I am
What?
not doing that next week.
We're doing it next Sunday. I don't care if it's just me up there being like, yeah. We're doing it. We're doing it next week.
I'll be your audience member, Eli.
Thank you.
Anyone
It's
else
just me and I.
Okay, Willem, do you have anything to say? You're up here now. It's your time to shine. You got
It's
this.
your time to shine, buddy.
The
I
world is
believe
your stage.
And
Great list
I'm
of
gonna
your
give you a
narrative.
count of 5 seconds. 5,
4, 3.
3, and he's gone.
Oh, we didn't even wait 5 seconds for him.
That's
Okay,
it.
is there anyone else?
All right.
Oh, Kara, it's your time.
Oh yeah, let's get Kara up here. Welcome, Gara. We should wait for guys. Wait for Simon to be the last one who can get on
They
stage.
allow you to server unmute someone, and it's like at the
No,
worst
Simon,
times.
get out of here. Simon gets to be last because you've been so impatient.
What?
Forgot my mic was muted. That's okay.
You were talking this whole time.
No, I only said like 2 words. It's okay. Okay, are you ready for my pickup lines?
What?
Uh,
They better be World War One themed. I
Yeah.
swear.
I tried to find some World War ones. There was no.
There
World
weren't
War
World
pickup
War
lines.
One
Yeah.
pickup lines.
Wait, there was
What?
World
Wow.
War II though. Wait.
nope.
No, no, no,
Well,
no, no. We're
Nope,
okay.
nope. And okay. Who's next?
No, no, bring her back.
Welcome,
I
you
want to
wanna-
hear the normal ones. I want to hear her pickup lines. It's entertainment.
Alright.
I want to hear it.
Okay, which
Wait,
one?
pick up Eli,
The
pick
World
up
War,
Eli.
the World War II, or
I don't want to be
the
picked
normal
up. I'm
ones.
small.
Pick up Eli. Pick up Eli.
Okay.
No.
You
oh
got
God.
this. Riz him up.
I'm scared.
I'm not so good at holding conversations. Is it okay if I hold your hand instead?
No, get away from me.
Alright. Very effective pickup line
I
there.
have
If
another
you're bad at
one.
holding conversations, why are you trying to riz up Eli?
Because I'm just so good. Okay, another one. Do you play Nintendo? Because I think we look good together.
Oh fuck, I love Nintendo. Do you guys want to see my room?
No. No. Eli,
She started
no.
it, I thought
Bad, Eli,
She
bad.
started it.
He just got like a wall covered in fucking blood and like 2 victims. He's like, so this is my Switch. This is my copy.
Wait, guys. But I have a really cool Lego set.
No. No.
One
No.
second, I'm grabbing
I will
it.
kick
I'm
you.
grabbing it
Turn
right
on
now.
the camera and I will kick
Sandusky is outperforming you right now.
you.
Look in chat,
Pick up,
dude.
pick up someone else. Pick up
One second, I'm
Daffy.
putting up. Okay, look at my
I'm
Lego
trying to
set.
Let me think of a good one for Daffy.
Look at it.
Yeah, you gotta have a good
So
one for
it's-
Daffy.
It's a question mark block, but like it opens up and it reveals like this.
Oh.
It's so
Oh.
cool.
That's
I
That's
built
a
this.
big package.
bro got me rizzed up.
This
for
was
real.
a lot of money.
Bro
Anyways.
got you, Riz.
I'm just
Kara's
kidding.
sitting here dying. The Legos. Can't say no to that.
Legos?
Yeah.
Who says Legos?
Are
Legos.
Lego brick.
Legos.
I five? Are you a
Hey, one
Lego?
for Daffy.
you
Shut
got me
up. No one
bricked
likes
up.
you.
Whoa, whoa, man.
Whoa.
No, Daffy is more important than all of you. Okay.
On
It's
God.
true.
Stand Daffy. Okay.
Okay.
She's number 1.
Okay. What's that amazing perfume you're wearing? Oh, that's just you. I can't get enough.
Oh.
0 out of 10.
It hurts.
0 out of 10. I smell
looked that one up.
horrible.
It hurts. Oh. Keep
Have
going
you
though.
seen Star Wars? Because Yoda won for me. I can't speak.
No. No.
I five. And by the way, if you say banana, she gets moved to the audience. So
Okay, that's a
No,
code word.
you do not move me.
Um,
That's a sin.
you need
okay.
to you need to keep going or we're gonna come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Are you a
I'm good
bomb?
at algebra. Can I
Well,
replace your x and you wouldn't need to figure out why? That makes no sense. Okay. 8. Period. Okay. Totally funny pickup lines. Your eyes are like IKEA. I'm totally lost in them.
That's valid.
I've never been to an IKEA.
Ever been stuck in IKEA for hours? Oh.
wait, do you guys remember when I was in general and I was like messaging everyone to like help me? I'm in IKEA and I'm lost.
Yeah, I do.
IKEA.
I've never been inside of an IKEA. We don't have any IKEAs near here.
Yeah, it's a maze. Oh,
I
that
got
you're very
one.
lucky, Kara. You're so lucky. It's a maze.
I got one. I got one.
Exit signs point in different directions. All right, let's hear
Okay,
it.
this
Pick-
one's for grandmas. Well,
What?
my personal opinion. Want a raisin? No. Well, how about a date? No one eats dates or raisins, like BFFR. They're nasty.
Am I a bomb? Because I want to blow up inside of you.
Get out! Get out!
I'm gonna bring back the
You're
original
gone.
one that.
You don't
bring
get
it
to
back.
say that on here, man. That's too. I have to edit now. I hate you. I
No, I
hate
think you
making
have to edit
cuts
before.
to
Oh,
this
God, you have to
podcast.
you have to
You have a
trim
million
10
cuts, Star
seconds
Five.
of content.
Dude,
Oh,
that's
no,
like
you
an
don't
hour of
say
work
that,
right there, bro.
man.
That's half an hour of
The
work right
episode's
there.
worse
I
than
hate you
so.
for that.
Who?
The FCC.
KCTV.
Okay.
But this is going on YouTube.
Dude, just don't. Okay.
Okay. What?
We
what
actually
kind of
have a,
line should
a-
I do?
Just keep going.
Oh.
Just keep going. You're doing amazing.
Wait.
Bugby vibes.
Okay. Wait. I need more.
Bugby would make me do so many push-ups for that one.
True.
True. I like how no one gets it except like us
I'm
four.
sorry, Will.
Yeah.
I won't do again.
Oh my
I
god!
won't do
I'm
again.
not saying that.
Daffy, you do not. Well,
Hold up.
how many more
He's
pickup?
got
How many more pickup lines does Kara get?
as many as
I mean, shouldn't we like let other people up?
her dad walked in.
Hey. I hope he did not see that.
I hope he heard what I said.
You're so hot. My zipper's falling for you.
What?
Thank you.
Okay. Cat Gamer's back after all this time.
Oh, it's been like a couple years. It's like
Wait,
the
let Cat
entire
Gamer up.
podcast.
Let Cat Gamer up. Also, we gotta.
My
have-
dad walked in again.
Oh,
As soon as I said that.
did he get the milk at least?
Welcome.
He, I don't know. Actually, we're pretty loaded on milk. We have like 3 gallons of milk in my fridge.
Oh, there,
Okay.
there goes
What
Cat
happened to
Gamer.
Cat Gamer. No, bring Cat Gamer back.
Oh my gosh, this one's scary. Is your name Winter? Because you'll be coming soon.
Stop! Stop!
Oh,
I'm gonna cry.
do you want to like take turns editing this?
I literally.
I got you, bro.
Give me your car keys so I can drive you crazy.
That's the worst one. You gotta. Okay, that's the last one you get, Kara.
Yep.
No,
All right.
no,
have
no.
Kara. Oh my
Get your
god,
iCarly
the
ass outta
cutoff
here.
was perfect.
You cannot get rid of me that easily. You cannot get rid.
I can though.
I can and I will.
Yep.
No, give
I-
her one
Me
more.
and I
You have
have a
one
race
more
No,
chance to
no.
redeem
against
yourself.
you.
Let me
All right,
in.
Cat Gamer, how are you doing today?
Okay, should I do better ones?
Good,
one
but I
more.
can barely hear you. For some reason, everybody's turned down for some reason. I don't know.
Turn us up. then.
Everybody's just very loud, so.
I can make a pickup line with that. I'm not gonna say it. That'd be bad.
Okay, you
Do
have
it.
one.
Do it right now. Do it.
You have
Do
one
it.
more, Kara. One more.
One
Wait.
more.
Wait, I'm gonna
Reminding you
reset my
that
thing.
I'm
Let me back
hovering
up here when
over
I get
the
back.
move to audience, but just letting you know.
I'm gonna reset my Discord. Just let me back up when I get back.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Let me think of one that's not so bad.
Come on, Kara.
Okay, these ones are nice ones apparently.
You got this.
Okay.
I believe in you. You got this, Kara. The pickup
I'm not
line.
gonna say. I promise I'm not gonna say a bad one. Okay.
Okay,
I'm trying really hard not to.
okay.
Okay.
Wait, who are you gonna pick up though?
Oh my god, the online dating app that just popped up. For real. They know me so well. Just kidding.
You still haven't chosen, I've noticed. You just awkwardly started stammering and didn't say anything.
Yes,
to pick
I
up
don't know who to
Daffy.
pick.
No.
Again?
Again.
Yeah.
Who pick wait, put in the chat who I should pick up.
Yeah, cast your votes, guys.
Angel, shut up. Stop
What?
stealing my my
Did you say
spotlight,
my name?
okay?
Yeah.
Beeve is
Pick a
like,
beef. Pick a beef.
Anyone but me. Okay, Will, I'm gonna try to pick you up now.
Wait, no, he's hey.
yes, pick
No,
up
he's
Will.
gay. That's what that's then.
Okay. This one's
Why is that that
this
GIF
one's
isn't showing up, but it says the name Pokimane Wholesome Epic GIF?
They're
what?
doing a
Kissing
math
challenge.
It's pretty funny. Oh, I got
Have you seen
deleted.
that? Like Brent Rivera. Sorry. That was okay. This one's nerdy apparently.
Oh,
If I had
damn.
a penny for every
Damn.
time you entered my mind, I'd only have one because you never leave.
Aww.
This is so
That's
emotional.
nice.
I'm gonna start
That-
crying.
Oh. And
Okay.
on that note, kicked out.
No.
Alright, have
No.
fun. Oh my god.
Stop.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, welcome.
Hi. Hey guys, I just won my siege match. I'm silver 3 now. Are you
Wait,
guys
is
proud
Silver
of me?
3 in Siege?
I'm silver 3 now.
Wait, who do you main in attack and defense?
I
Eli,
play
stop.
like
Eli,
I play like
stop.
Fuse and
Just let her
Rook.
stay. Just let her
Rook
stay.
is really good. I like Rook.
Just let her
Yeah,
stay.
10 out of 10. I love plates. My
Stop
favorite.
kicking her.
Crates are my favorite.
But yeah, this was an epic
You stop.
World War One podcast. 10
Thank
out of
you.
10.
Yeah, for real.
What was your favorite part?
Probably like I don't know when the guy died. I don't know.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
That was when guys
happened, dude. That happened 20 million times.
Okay, but like you know the one time though that like it happened.
Yeah, the Henry time.
No, I mean like the one like when like that one French guy like died. That was
Bro.
pretty epic.
Oh yeah.
One.
Oh, Franz Ferdinand.
No, not him. He wasn't named. He was just a background character, but he was really cool. He's my favorite.
One sec.
Oh, is it? Oh, never.
There's
you
screen shares. Oh gosh.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be more specific, buddy.
Okay. Should I say another pickup
I mean
line?
that's not even that much though. Like I mean think about it. Like that's not even that
That's
many.
great.
And screen share.
I can literally like count that on my fingers. Like one guy.
Okay.
Try harder.
Well, I'm glad
Try
that
harder.
thank
Lou?
you for your input very much. I appreciate you.
Have a great day.
That guy goes to our school.
Pickup line break. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Like I was gonna say, pick someone random for me to pick up.
Okay.
Cat gamer.
Willem Daffy.
Cat
Should we do some random? should we do
Yeah.
some- Yeah. Okay. I don't know who you are, but
I'm gonna kick you mid pickup line, by the way.
no. I will
Wait, Cat Gamer's gonna be up here for this?
stop.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Okay. Let's see your reaction. Okay. Let's think.
Ooh.
Okay. Why would you do that? Why
Bro
would you
really
do
said-
that? I'm just irresistible. I know.
Please don't leave when I invite you
This
up.
one's actually
Just
kind
stay.
of cute.
All right, let's do it. Let's go. Go, Kara.
Is your name Wi-Fi? Because I could really feel a deep soul connection here. Sorry, I stuttered.
You stuttered and it was.
How do you feel about that
Wi-Fi
cat gamer?
Pickup line.
Yes.
Wi-Fi.
Because obviously, yes. Okay, I have another
We're
one for
like
you
Wi-Fi.
because that one obviously wasn't good enough. Can you
Okay,
lend me a sweet kiss? I swear to give it back.
Aw,
Cat
cat.
gamer. How do you feel about that one?
Are you a skeleton? Because you gave me a bone.
No, no.
No, I
Kick
didn't
him.
say it. That's what Daffy said.
Okay, but Daffy is hot, so
She's
she
her-
could get away with it.
What?
So am I.
What?
Just kidding. That's how I pick a woman. Just too good. Oh, yes. See, Daffy's just
I'm
too,
just glad
too
no one
cute.
has said slay on this podcast.
Slay.
What's
Okay,
pop?
guys, and that's the end of the World
Which
War
one
One
is lame?
podcast. Thanks for being
Wrap it
on.
up, everybody. Have a great day. Yeah.
Our discrimination era.
Well, return for the sequel of World War Dating podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about World War II and dating in the same podcast next time.
Yeah,
Make sure to catch
dating
us
hit.
tomorrow
I'm gonna
at
play a dating
4
hit.
a.m.
You a little bit.
4:30
We'll even
a.m. You
give you.
can't miss it.
We'll even
4:30.
give you a little bit of steamy insight of Ava Braun and Adolf Hitler's relationship.
Ooh,
I'm just
What?
kidding. We're
If you want
obviously
to
gonna
learn
talk
more,
about FDR and Eleanor Roosevelt.
I'm closing it now. How do I do this?
No.
I can't. Okay,
Wait,
I
everyone
pick
in
up line
call
for
one.
Simon, hold up.
Everyone in call. Oh yeah, we gotta
No.
let Simon up and then call.
okay.
Oh yeah, you
Simon,
can come up
Wait,
here.
Rizz up
Dude,
Simon.
let him up.
Come up here and Rizz
That's
up
what I'm
Let
about
him
to
up.
do.
Rizzy
Let
Wizzy.
him go.
Come on, Simon. Simon. Come on.
Okay, this one's too good. Okay, are you ready for this,
You have to
Simon?
address it to someone.
This is to Simon,
Okay.
obviously. Okay, your lips look a little lonely. Care to be with mine?
Ooh.
The way the barrel touches my forehead.
Oh my gosh, that one's scary. I'm not saying that. Oh my gosh.
The way the bird.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna edit this one to make it more
Child appropriate.
Uh-huh. I've lost my teddy bear. Can I cuddle with you instead?
I thought you said titty for a second.
Wait, what did you
what was
replace for
the
teddy
original?
bear? Was it
What
like
was the original?
Wi-Fi? Was it like
It wasn't even that bad. I just no, we're not gonna say that.
sit? Sit. I would
Those
like you
seem
to.
like very expensive clothes. Too bad I'd be ripping through them tonight.
Ooh.
Whoa!
That one's actually decent. In my
Not if
opinion.
I'm taken.
Daffy
you're
says
pissed?
real news.
Are you?
What?
Are you?
She says real news.
Y'all should be very excited for this pickup line. I'm gonna start crying.
Angel, let me, hey, Angel,
Are
let
you
me say that
Aquaman?
my
'Cause you make
respect
me
for you
feel wet.
fucking skyrocketed.
So, how's your day going, I5?
Did y'all hear that pickup line?
No.
So how's
I'm
your
not-
day
I'm not
going,
repeating that.
High
I'm not repeating that.
Is it going okay, I5?
Minecraft
Simon, if you
artist.
want to join, then just go.
Bye.
Simon, get up here. I
I've
love
invited
Simon.
you already.
Simon, come on.
Bye, Pookies.
What? She gone?
Alright, if Simon's not on in the next 3 minutes, I'm leaving. And I'm ending the entire damn thing.
Well,
Shoot.
Steve, how did you like the
You
podcast?
an all tomato, meaning you can give me the entire tomato or none.
Beef,
What?
how'd you like the podcast?
It was good. Yeah,
I'm sorry I butchered some of your words.
it's fine, dude. I don't really blame you. You and Will both. It's like, one sec. Some of the words that I had you guys read, like, Hey, reconnaissance was stupid of you, but I made fucking I5 read such words as Schleswig, Alsace-Lorraine,
But also, he messed up the word likely, so.
It was largest.
Largest is still pretty bad, man.
it was largest, bro.
Actually, now that I think about it, I really did not make you read any hard words. Maybe Yugoslavia, Pretty of
word.
Versailles, Pretty of Versailles is
It's just
kind
a
of hard.
lot of small font. You didn't even double space this. It's just hard.
Yeah, it was just annoying. Also, this
Oh,
wasn't
we're
this
now, are we?
a speech? This it's a lot different than a podcast than a speech, so it's a little more difficult to like word it correctly. But I think we're good. I think we did
not-
it okay.
Not speech. It's whatever the fuck I say it is.
Okay,
You know what I
Daddy.
mean.
Okay. Oh.
That's where I end the YouTube video.
Arrest him. Okay, I made
Right.
it size 14 and I double spaced it, and now it's 14
Oh,
pages
you did
instead
that
of 6.
kindly and generously after we're done reading it all.
I'm just
Wonderful.
telling you how fucking retarded
Appreciate
that is. 'Cause now it's 14 pages instead of 6. You fucking. I'm sorry. That was weird.
14.
Maybe we. Okay. I think this is a good way to end the podcast. Wait. Just wait 1 second. Just wait a second.
If you guys want to, hey, if anybody wants to read it, I'm going to send the link in the podcast chat channel.
Okay. One sec. Wait. Give me a second. Give me a second.
I'm suddenly now tempted to find pickup lines.
There you go. All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Signing off.
Wait. Don't leave yet.
Me
Don't leave
call
yet.
one.
Don't leave yet.
All in
Don't leave
call
yet.
one.
All right.
Everybody was tired out.
Simon comes up.
Thanks, Simon, for joining as soon as I end the stage. All right, guys, have a good one. It's my now.
Eli.
It's my bedtime.